The toughest thing to do when you're on stream of attention is to prevent edging. Before you even start touching yourself, it starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. It's a game. And even your mind will run game on you if you're not careful. When I first started this journey of stream of attention, one of the hardest things, I want to say one of the hardest things, it was the hardest thing because it all started within the mind. It started within my mind. It was to stop thinking sexual thoughts, to stop thinking lustful thoughts, to stop the eye wandering, things of that nature. When you're on stream of attention, you got to understand why you're on stream of attention. You're on stream of attention to better your life, to preserve your seed, to align yourself with the universe, and to experience all of the blessings and good fortunes that stream of attention has to offer. But you need to understand that it's more than just retaining your seed. It's more than just not touching yourself. That's just the first part of it. If you're not touching yourself and you're on a long streak, but you're still having trouble with mental edging and things of that nature, but you haven't relapsed, you're only doing half the battle. Because you need to understand, that's where it starts. That's where the problems start. The problems start within the mind. When I first started this journey of stream of attention, I used to be a sexaholic. I told you that in my other videos. And if you ever had any issue with lust like I've had for the majority of my fucking life, then you understand. Then you understand that it's not enough just to not touch yourself, and it starts with the mind. You have to tell your mind what to do. You can't be a bitch and allow your mind to guide you. Because we live in a lustful world. So a lot of you guys, a few of you guys, well today particularly, a lot of you guys are talking in the comment section about edging and how to prevent edging, and those are good topics to talk about, and we can get into that right now. When you start this journey of stream of attention, when I started it, the first thing I had to do was to stop edging, was to eliminate my company. A lot of you grew up with friends since you were a child, or maybe you've moved around a lot, like I have, since I was born. You know, since I was born. The first 15, 16 years, first 18 years of my life, I was moving on an average of at least 8 to 9 months at a time. So I never kept any friends, and all the childhood friends that I knew, they were all gone before I was even 10 years old. So cutting off people wasn't that hard for me, but it can be for some of you who are in good company. You think you're in good company because you smoke and you drink and you talk about thoughts and things of that nature. Or if you're on this journey of stream of attention now and you're still having a hard time with edging and things of that nature, you need to look at the company that you keep around you. And I understand you have family and friends, big family and friends, things of that nature, but at the same time, it's still your journey, and it's not their journey, it's your journey. So you have to understand that it's going to be painful. I told you yesterday, this is a cold journey. This is a cold and cruel journey. But the end result is for you to save yourself. You have to show the universe that you're willing to go through the pain in order to get the results that you want, the positive results that you want. How much pain you're willing to go through, it's up to you. It's up to you. This journey of stream of attention, it can go as far as you want to push it. But to eliminate edging and to eliminate mental edging and lustful thoughts, you have to control your mind. You have to control your eyes. If you see a pretty lady, you have to look the other way. You have to practice thought replacement techniques. You got to practice thought replacement techniques. When I'm tempted, I'm human just like you guys. When temptations come towards me, and they come towards me every single day, as I'm sure they do to you guys too. You have to, I practice thought replacement. I start thinking about something else, or maybe I will completely physically remove myself if I have to. I said it yesterday, stream of attention guides you. There's nothing wrong with walking away from a temptation. There's nothing wrong with shutting down someone if you feel like you're getting aroused, because you're not supposed to get aroused if you're on a stream of attention. You get aroused because that is the natural functionality of your of your body as a human being. But what you do with that arousal, that's when you can put yourself in a position to relapse. When I feel aroused, I completely remove myself, either mentally. If I can't move myself physically, I remove myself mentally, and I go forward from there. I'll do anything else, but I won't indulge in lustful thoughts anymore. I don't indulge in lustful thoughts anymore. I get incredibly upset with myself if I feel like my mind is not disciplined enough, and I'll go back and rework my mind and retrain my mind and tell my mind to stop being a bitch. Like, what are we doing here? We could be thinking about anything else. We could be working on anything else, but you're sitting here thinking about what? The possibility of anything in any kind of relation with a woman? No. You have to stop. You have to control yourself, and you have to eliminate the distractions, no matter what it may be. If it be the Instagram thoughts, if it be you're a social media addict and you can't control yourself because you're a social media addict, and you know that you're going to swipe, and you're going to swipe on pictures that you don't need to be swiping on, or touching things you don't need to be clicking on websites you don't need to be clicking on. The internet is going to be one of your biggest obstacles, if not already. But that doesn't mean that you can't overcome it, because I've overcome it, and it was the hardest thing for me to overcome. I will tell you that. The internet was the hardest thing for me to overcome. But when I finally overcame it, when I finally overcame the internet, it wasn't a big deal anymore. It wasn't a big deal, and I was able to correlate that. I was able to correlate that action into other aspects of my life. And I was able to start cutting off people that I thought were my friends, but they weren't my friends because we didn't have the same ideology. You young men out there that are 16, 17, 18 years old, 15 years old, just young, way younger than me. You guys out there that are just now starting your life, and you feel like you've wasted so much time already on porn and the porn industry and just jacking off and masturbating. You wasted your life fluids. I understand. You're not alone, and you shouldn't beat yourself up. I see some of you in the comment sections beating yourselves up. Don't beat yourself up. You're human just like me, but you're here right now on this channel for a reason. The first time I saw porn was when I was 3 years old. I was 3 years old when I first saw porn. It's one of my very first memories of anything ever on earth. And unfortunately, that's the family that I grew up in, if that's what you want to even call a family. But it is what it is. And so I'm letting you guys know that you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this. And you're just going through the same things that I went through, but just different circumstances in how you're dealing with it. And it's not too late. It's only too late if you tap out. We always talk about this. It's only too late if you tap out and you give up. And then that's when you become an old fool. That's when eventually you become an old fool. To me, the worst thing you can do is just deplete your life force, knowing the benefits of semen retention. I know some of you guys are out there trying to quit smoking weed. You're trying to quit drinking, a lot of whatever the substance may be. Get off of that too. Do your absolute best. But first and foremost, you need to stop touching yourself. And you need to eliminate the company that is around you. If it be social media, if it be your family, if it be your friends. They're not your family, they're not your friends. Anyone that doesn't support you on this semen retention journey, this semen retention sobriety journey in earnest, anyone that doesn't support you is not on your side. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And they're going to show themselves. They're going to show themselves very quickly. You're going to see who's on your side and who's not on your side when it comes to this semen retention sobriety in earnest journey. And it is tough. But you have to fight every single day. And when you start to deviate away, it's depending on how hard you push away. Depending on how hard you push away push away from all of the substances, all females, everything, how hard, cold hard villain mode you go, that is when you're going to see who is on your side and who is not on your side. And I suggest that you actually do that if you can. Again, I said it before, not every detox is created equal, and I don't know what substances you guys are trying to quit, but go see a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I don't recommend you go cold turkey off of things that will put your body into shock. You know, everybody's not created equal, and I don't want to see any of you guys sick. I don't want to see any of you guys die out there because of the relapses and the shock that you do to your body. Alcohol shock, alcohol, a weed withdrawal, a cigarette withdrawal, whatever it may be, heroin withdrawal, methadone withdrawal, everything that I just aforementioned, I've been through all of that and more. I understand. But if you can get away from those substances, permanently, then, and everyone else around you sees this, then you will see who is on your side and who's not on your side. Because I know when I first quit my substances and I moved away from the people that I thought were my friends and family, the first thing that they were asking was not, hey, how are you? What's going on with you? The first thing, it was just about them. It was all about them. Hey, what's wrong? You don't like me anymore? You don't think I'm cool anymore? You think you're too good for me? You can't listen to any of that bullshit. They're trying to bring you back into the fold of losership, and misery loves company. Misery loves company. And that all happened to me. And it put me in a position where I did relapse a few times. When I first started this journey, I did relapse like many of you did until you finally got it right. And now you're at a point to where you're on a very long street, and even if you're at a position in which you flatlined, you know what to do. You know what to do. You have to keep on digging. For those of you that are in a position to where you're now at the stage of flatline, I've been there too. And the flatline, I don't know if it just comes once or if it only came once for you guys, or if it came 2 or 3 times. It's come multiple times for me. And where I felt like I didn't have as much energy as I used to have or that I needed to have. And it's like, wait a minute. Stream of attention is supposed to grant strength. It's supposed to grant power. It's supposed to grant energy, and you have to get up and move. The thing about it is, when you're on stream of attention and you're flatlined, to me and what it means to me when I flatlined and what stopped me from relapsing was knowing that I wasn't doing enough. You have to know that when you're on stream of attention, you have so much energy that it's to me, I don't know about you guys let me know in the comments section. I found it very easy to get bored. I found it very easy to get bored of anything that I was doing. Not because I hated it, but because I wanted to do so many things at once. My mind was always racing. I wasn't as hungry as I used to be. I didn't need as much water because the stream of attention benefits, sobriety benefits, was filling me every single day, was satisfying was giving me the nutrients that I needed. And that's what stream of attention does. It gives you the nutrients you need to where you can go out and do other things. You can go out and take care of what you need to take care of, and that is the natural functions of a man. To where he shouldn't need to overeat. He shouldn't need to overdrink. He shouldn't need to do any of these things. The purpose of a man is to create. But you can't create if you're always sitting on your ass doing nothing. So if you feel like you're flatlined, if you feel like you're edging, you feel like you can't stop thinking about females, you can't stop thinking about touching yourself, or you want to feel aroused, or you have lustful thoughts, that's when you literally need to get the fuck outside. I don't care what the weather is. It sounds crazy. Either take a cold shower or go outside. Go outside. You will find something to do. The human body, the male vessel, is designed to be alpha, masculine, full of testosterone, full of energy. Not lazy, fat, obese, or just so anorexic to where you're just gone with the wind looking ass. No, we're designed as the superior species, as the superior beings in this realm that we live in our humanity. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. But this world that we live in today, especially since 1960, since the mid-1950s, especially after World War II, the sexual revolution, right after World War II, after the Antarctica Treaty was signed and everything, that's when the entire world changed. When Israel took over and, they won World War II, that's what you want to say. that's when everything changed. That's when the sexual revolution came, and that's when everybody started saying, oh, it's just okay to just like, let's start sleeping around with everybody. Let's start wasting our energy. Let's start doing the things that, you know what I'm saying, that we were forbidden to do, you know? And what has that gotten us? We're in 2025 right now, and look at the world right now. Complete degenerates everywhere, for the most part. Complete degenerates everywhere, for the most part. People having kids that they don't even want, or they're having kids for financial reasons, and there is no love. Everything is a business contract. You know how many women out there have children just because they want to have someone take care of them, so they can sit on their ass and do nothing for the rest of their life? Those are the ones that played the game on the males that fell for the trap. And you need to understand that everything has changed since the late 1950s and the 1960s. To where this is our world now, to where everything is just whatever, you know, whatever. I open my legs for anyone, stick my dick in anyone, and then you get surprised when you catch a disease, or worse than that. Now you got baby mama's drama, and now you're stuck with her. You got to deal with her family and all this other nonsense, and that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't retain. That's what happens when you start mental edging. It all snowballs very, very quickly. All your progress lost. All of your progress lost. 6, 7, 8, 9 months. A whole year of retaining. 2 years of retaining. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of retaining. Several years of retaining. All lost in an instant. All because you weren't able to control your mind. You have to control your mind, gentlemen. You have to control your mind, or your mind is going to control you, because we live inside of these physical, biological vessels. But what is in us and what animates us, the energy that animates us, our higher self, is astronomically and infinitely bigger than you can possibly imagine. We are just inside of this vessel experiencing the human experience. Understand, we're here, but we're not here. We're here, but we're not here. We feel the pain and everything, but we're not here. We're not here. You know, say in totality, in a spiritual sense. So I say that to say the natural inclination of this physical human body is divided against the higher self. The higher self wants you to be on seam of attention. It wants us to be on seam of attention. I'm speaking solely towards men right now. I don't know what the higher self wants for women, you know, because I'm not a woman. But I can surmise that from what I've seen from women, that their higher self just wants their purpose, their higher purpose, and their physical presence is just to deplete and destroy the lives of men over and over and over. And it's just that simple. It's not complicated. So the most important thing for you to understand is that the mind and the body are one, but the spiritual self is much, much, much higher, and it's divided against the body. It's divided against the body. The higher self and the physical self wants two different things. It wants two different things. The higher self wants us to be on retention. The physical always wants to fuck. Always wants to fuck, always wants to feel aroused, always wants to drink, smoke, and always wants to party, but you damage the body. And the higher self knows this. The higher self knows this, which is why it cries out to you, whether you realize it or not. That voice in the back of your head, well, yo, man, we're not supposed to be doing this. Yo, man, we're not supposed to be messing with her. Yo, we're not supposed to be messing with anyone. We're supposed to be trying to find our higher purpose. Find out what the higher purpose wants. And the higher purpose doesn't want to edge. The higher purpose doesn't want to masturbate. The higher purpose doesn't want to even look at a woman. The higher purpose, the higher self that is within you, each and every single one of us men. And that power is amplified more and more. The higher self is amplified more and more the more you retain what the higher self gives to the male vessel, which is the specimen biological seed of God, which resides in all of us. And should you retain that, you amplify the higher self. And that's when you start to push your mind. That's when your mind starts to deviate away. That's when your mind starts to deviate away from lustful thoughts. It starts to deviate away from, you know, all of the thought culture, all of the drug culture, all of the nonsense that is completely destroying men and our humanity. Has pretty much destroyed our humanity already since the 1960s, especially since the late 1950s and 1960s. That's pretty much our culture now. Nothing has changed but just the year number and the technology. But human beings are pretty much the same since the late 1950s and the early 1960s when the sexual revolution began. And it's all intentional. It's all an agenda just to make sure that us men stay depleted and that whatever that they have planned for 2030 and beyond and just the generations beyond, this is a well thought out plan and agenda by the rich royal elite. And we've fallen right into their trap, except for the ones that have awakened. I've awakened, you guys have awakened, and we see what's going on. And now we see what Bill Gates and all the rich royal elite, we know what they're talking about now. Now we know exactly what they're talking about. And that's why we've got on seam of attention, sobriety, and earnest. And we're seeking ways to continue to elevate ourselves while they continue to try to push us downward. So you guys got to understand. You guys got to understand that edging starts with the mental aspect. It starts with the mental aspect of you feeling alone, feeling like nobody wants you. You start listening to the dark negative forces, electromagnetic forces that are out there saying that, oh, you're wasting your time. You just lost a really good girlfriend. You just lost a really good friend that you've known all your life, and oh, you just turned your back on a family member. You're an awful person. You did it all for some placebo bullshit. This ain't no placebo bullshit. If it was placebo, I wouldn't be doing it. I promise you that. Because all I seek now is energy. And I know when I have energy, and I know when I'm depleted of energy. It's a very simple feeling. And ever since when I was indulging in the life of lust, when I was done fucking, when I was done nutting, whatever the fuck that I was doing to release, I didn't feel energetic. I felt like shit. I felt like complete shit. It didn't matter that she was next to me. It didn't matter what she said. I was always tired. I was always depleted. And my bones always felt like shit. Right after, my bones always felt like shit. I said it before, I'll say it again. You actually shrink. The more you release, you shrink. You lose bone marrow. You lose vital nutrients that you need as a man to keep on swelling up and getting bigger and puffier and looking full. The glow, the gleam in your eyes, your attentiveness, you're quick to react to bullshit. You can articulate yourself in any situation. Everything lines up for you in your life. You are starting to become more successful in your business, in your ventures. Money just starts coming to you. All of it. It all comes together when you retain your seed. It all comes together. But should you not, and should you have a weak mind, then even before you bust, you start to lose energy mentally. Understand, everything around us is electromagnetic. Everything around us is electromagnetic, one way or another. And women have the ability to siphon energy away from you, even if they're not around you. Even if you're in your room and you live by yourself and there's no one around you, if you start thinking about women, your neurons are gonna start, they're going to start malfunctioning. They're going to trigger the arousal feeling that you feel. And when that happens, eventually you're going to start coming up with excuses. In this world that we live in today, it is easy to come up with excuses to not retain, more so than reasons to retain, depending on how you see it. Depending on how you see it and what side of the fence you're on. To me, it is easier to find reasons to retain than to not retain. I used to think it vice versa, but now I believe it the other way around, because my mind has gotten stronger and I look at the world around me and I see that everything is just lust driven. And quite honestly, I don't understand how y'all don't get bored of it every now and then. Not even every now and then, but just completely bored and just you want to be rid of it. You want to be rid of it. Some people don't want to, they don't want to give it up because they're so tightly connected to their network. They're so tightly connected to their network of lustful friends and, you know what I'm saying, oh, and the promise of, oh, I've been trying to fuck her for the longest time and all this nonsense. When in actuality, it doesn't mean anything because it's just your turn. She don't give a shit about you. We talked about this yesterday. She don't give a shit about you. It's just your turn. It's just that simple. Whether you're married, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's a thought, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? It's just your turn. And very few men figure this out. When you understand the nature of women better and understand the cruelty of women, then you can be just as cruel as me. You can be just as cruel as me, just as evil, cruel, just as much of a villain, if not more than me. And I encourage you guys to go that route because they don't care. That's why they take our kids. That's why they always win in court. That's why they never take any accountability. So instead of just complaining about it, don't be cruel like them. Be crueler. Don't be evil like them. Be more evil. I'm serious. I'm 100% serious. I'm not using any kind of metaphors. Like, no, let them down hard. Be vicious. They don't care. I don't care if she cries. Let them down hard. No, I'm not interested in you. No, I don't want to talk to you. No, don't touch me. I can't touch you because if I touch you, you're going to call the police and I'm going to jail for rape. Get the fuck out of here. If I don't touch you, I'm going to jail for rape. If I just say something, now if you say something to a woman, you can rape a woman just by saying something to her. I'm not fucking playing. I don't know where the fuck you guys are at in the world, but here in America, if you say something wrong to a woman, it can be classified as rape very easily. You can be doing some serious time. You that live in America, you can comment in the comment section. You know what I'm talking about. You know I'm speaking facts, especially here in New York. So you have to be crueler and more evil and demented than the opposition, because the opposition just wants to see us die. They either want to see us feminized or they want to see us die, because they don't want the so-called toxic masculinity. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's only masculinity. Masculinity resides only in a man. Being feminine only resides in a woman. Period. It's not complicated. There is no, there's too much toxic. No, you're just a fucking bitch. You're just a fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch and you need to fucking butt out of man's business. And that's how you men out there need to operate and think about this shit. I read a comment in the comment section earlier today. Of course I deleted it, because I'm not going back and forth with you clowns. You're on clown retention. I read a comment in the comment section today. A clown retention motherfucker talking about, I don't even know if he is on clown retention, because he was against what the fuck I was talking about. He said, you being up in someone else's business is lame. I can say what the fuck I want to say. I'm saving men, you bitch. Go suck a pussy. Don't even suck a dick. Get on your knees and suck a pussy, you fucking cunt. You're worse than a woman. You're weaker than a woman. Standing up for women. Coming on my channel talking against us men. You fucking bitch. You're weaker than a woman. Go suck her pussy tonight and lose your energy. Smoke your weed. Drink all your shit. And go laugh at my video as you laugh to your fucking grave. The joke is on you. The joke is not on me. Semen retention is going to set you right. You can laugh all you want to. You're going to lose your energy tonight. You're going to fuck some stupid thought tonight. You're going to lose vital nutrients tonight. You're going to suffer semen retention penalties tonight. And furthermore, until you change or die. One of the two is going to happen. You're going to die, get sick and die. Or you're going to change and come on to the right side. I ain't got shit to say to you. We ain't gotta worry about you. Semen retention's gonna take care of you. Clown retention at this point is gonna take care of you. Because semen retention's got nothing to do with you. You're on clown retention. So clown retention is gonna reward you accordingly, and it's gonna fuck up your life. And it's all gonna be connected to women. I promise you. I fucking promise you. It's all gonna be connected to women. How the fuck do I know? Because I've experienced it and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not talking out the side of my ass. Everything I'm talking about, I've experienced it. That's why I can talk about it so boldly. All of the problems that I've had, the major problems that I've had that have set me back and made me lose opportunity after opportunity was because I couldn't stop my mind from edging and always wanting lust. Lust will kill you. I'm not speaking metaphorically. It will literally kill you. In the end, it'll kill every opportunity in your life that comes towards you. And it will guide you. The same way semen retention will guide you to godhood and infinitehood and beyond, clown retention will keep on pushing you lower and lower and lower to where eventually there's nothing left of you. I live in New York City. I see men all the time looking brittle, skinny, looking like they're gone with the wind, low energy, they can't walk. And these motherfuckers aren't even 30 years old yet. They don't even look 30. I'm older than all these motherfuckers and I got all this energy. But you younger than me and you walking around with a cane? What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened to you? What the fuck happened to you? I understand people have accidents and people have misfortunes when it comes to their health, whatever the case may be, but all of you? Ha! No. And then you stop and talk to these people. And what do they have to say? I've stopped and talked to these people, and what do they have to say? They have nothing to say. They got nothing good to say, nothing positive to say. They just want to talk about women. I kid you not. I wish I could say something else. They just want to talk about women. They want to talk about bitches. Oh, look at her over there. Oh, man, I used to have this woman right here, and man, I sure do miss her, and I had a good time. You end up being an old fool. You end up being an old fool. That's what happens. You end up being an old fool well before your time. And you see all these people when you were a kid growing up that were homeless and they're walking around looking dirty and, you know what I'm saying, they still look like they just got finished jacking off, and you don't want to touch these people. You don't want to touch these people. And that'll be you very quickly. And all of a sudden you become that person. Or you're on the path. You're very close to literally matching. You'll end up being the meme. I've become everything that I hate. It can happen quicker than you think, guys. You young men out there that are 15, 16, 17 years old, 18 years old, 19, 20, 21, whatever, just way younger than me. I'm trying to tell you, it can happen quicker than you think. And there is no, oh, well, I'm young and this opportunity will come back around again. It won't. It won't. I'm letting you guys know it won't, because I used to think the same thing, and the opportunities never came back around again. They never came back around again for me. And now I'm here making semen retention videos because I lost every other opportunity that I had, all the potential that I had when I was younger, all those opportunities. I'm not decrepit and old, and I'm very athletic, and I'm very blessed to be able to still have the functions of my body. I'm very strong. And it's odd because I fucked up my body so much, I don't understand why I still have, why I'm still here. And it's for a higher purpose, and I understand at least that much. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the universe for that. But many won't make it out, and they won't make it as far as I've made it. They'll do a lot less. I've seen so many do a lot less and not make it out and suffer horrible, horrible consequences. Prison, death, murder, execution, just chronic illnesses. And it all started in the mind. I got here because it all started within my mind. All of the misfortunes that fell upon me, it all started in my mind because I didn't have any, I chose not to have any self-control. Instead of going for that career opportunity, I thought she was more important. Oh, well, the careers come and go, but If I lose her, then my life is over. I'll never see anyone as beautiful or be with anyone as beautiful again. And I was wrong. I was wrong on many fronts. It wasn't about trying to find someone else even more beautiful. It was about just focusing. It should have just been about focusing on my purpose. It's just that damn simple. It should have just been about focusing on my purpose. That's it. That's it. And you guys don't have to go that far. If you're young, if you're middle-aged, and even if you're old, older than me, with gray hair, that's fine. That is fine. It's never too late to start. The only time it's too late to start is when you're dead in the ground. That's when it's too late to start. When you're dead in the ground. So don't wait until it's too late. You have to be smart out here. You have to be smart out here in this world and know how the game is played. I keep on talking about the game. The game, the game, the game. What is the game? The game is called life. The game is called life, and you have to win. You have to win every single day. You have to keep playing to win, and the best way that you can win first and foremost, even if you're having a hard time with quitting whatever, you guys don't have to tell me your business. You guys don't have to tell me your business. I'm not trying to shame nobody. You don't have to tell me your business. I know you guys are struggling with addiction out there. I'm not stupid. I know everybody out there is not SR sobriety in earnest. I know that. I'm not stupid. But I'm not here to condemn everybody that's not SR sobriety in earnest. And every single, if you are not, you must get off my channel and go fuck yourself. And look, that's your decision if you want to get off my channel or not. Again, if you don't like my message, you can unsubscribe and get off my channel and never come back. I always say that every single day. Every single day. But I encourage you to not beat yourself up is what I'm saying right now. That's what I'm saying right now. You have enough people beating you up and saying that you're worthless and you're that. And I'm not trying to tell you guys that you're worthless and no, I'm saying the first thing, if you can't do anything else, you need to be SR sobriety. You need to be semen retention first and foremost. Get your mind out of the gutter. When you get your mind out of the gutter, you raise your self-worth and everything else follows. I know you guys are tapering off with the cigarettes and the weed and the drinking. It's tough. And the friends, they're not your friends. Your friends should want to see you succeed. Your friends should want to see you prosper. Your friends and family should want to... This car's trying to hit me. Your friends and family should want to see you prosper. They should want to see you prosper. They should want to see you succeed. They should want to see you do well. They should want to see you get that opportunity. They shouldn't want to see you get married. If you got family members and you got family members and friends just constantly pushing you men out there to do everything but pursue your career and what you truly desire within the bottom of your heart, you need to stop listening to them. How you deal with them is going to be completely up to you. Like I said, I grew up differently, and I've been able to cut off people very, very quickly and very easily. I know a lot of you guys didn't grow up the way I grew up. I've moved over 150 times in my life. I have moved over 150 times, literally, in my life. Furniture, bags, whatever the fuck you want. I've moved a lot. So it was easy for me to cut off a lot of people. But a lot of you have big families, and and you're not as cruel or ruthless as I am. And it takes a while for you to get to that. It takes a while for someone to get to that point, I guess. To get to that point in which you don't give a fuck anymore. And you'll cut off your mother, your father, and your sisters, and your fellow brethren, people that you grew up with. Those of you that are in gangs and things of that nature, it's complicated, I understand. I live in New York. That's all I'll say about that. I understand, but at the end of the day, it's still your life. And also, semen retention will take care of you. But you have to remove yourself. You have to remove yourself from the atmosphere. The atmosphere of losership, the atmosphere of comfortability, feeling comfortable. It is freezing out here right now here in New York. But it feels great to me. It feels great. It feels great. And I just got off of work and I was tired. And I said, oh man, I'm tired. And work was a lot harder today than I thought it was going to be. A lot harder today than I thought it was going to be. A lot more difficult, a lot more complex, a lot more things that I had to figure out on the fly because things did not go the way I wanted it to go. But Seam of attention guided me, and everything worked the fuck out. I don't know what to really say. Seam of attention guided me. You see a smile on my face. It guided me, and I said, I need to figure this shit out. And seam of attention figured it out for me. I followed suit, and I just stayed locked in. I stayed focused. Temptations came at me. A very hard temptation came at me today, but I survived it. I stayed locked in. And by me staying not locked in, when you stay locked in and you don't edge mentally, you change the trajectory of your life and your path. Let's keep this very simple. I'm walking straight right now. The street is to the left of me, and the sidewalk is to the right of me, or the buildings are to the right of me. Now, if there is a car coming at 100 miles an hour right now, but there's a woman to my right, and she looks bad as a bitch, and I look at her instead of looking at the car coming, I'm hit. If the car's coming directly towards me, I forgot to include that, the car's coming directly towards me. But if I hear the car coming, instead of paying attention to the bitch, and I hear the car coming, I stop, and the car just misses me, while she's waving at me trying to get my attention, I just saved my life. And that's just a small example. I try to keep it really simple, but you guys that have been on this long streak, you understand how seam of attention guides you if you stay locked in. But if you deviate and start thinking in the frame of clown retention, you're dead. You're dead. Even if you don't die today, you're finished. Because it's going to eventually it's going to add up. Happenstance is going to continue to happen to you in a way in which you're really not going to appreciate it, because it's going to take your life. It drains your attention span. And it makes you, and it puts you in a position where sadly you take seam of attention for granted and think that you can edge mentally, and that it's okay if I'm not touching myself. I'm here to say that that's not the case. That's not the case. You can still suffer clown retention effects. You can still suffer the results of clown retention by edging mentally. Even if you don't touch yourself, or if you're not talking to women, you can still suffer the adverse effects of clown retention. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be that guy. I'm trying to tell you, because I used to be that guy. I'm trying to give you guys the shortcut. I'm trying to give you guys the easy pass, the hall pass. You know, you just walk down the hall. You know we're going to bother you. There's no need to edge, guys. It's Friday. It's party time. It's time to stay locked in. It's time to stay locked in. Go for a walk. Get an exercise. Go for a run. Go to the gym. Read a book. Do something productive to grow yourself. If you make videos, make videos. If you're into music, do some music. Come up with a new song or something. I love music. I'm a musician myself. There are so many things that you can explore within yourself, especially if you're at the stage of flatlining. If you're at the stage of flatline, there's so much that you can explore. That means there's more for you to explore. That's all that means. If you're at the stage of flatline, that means there's more for you to explore within yourself. That's what flatline means to me. A lot of you guys, when you flatline, you feel like it's over. You feel like, what's going on? You feel like, oh man, I have no energy. No. That's when you have to push further beyond. You got to push further beyond and dig deeper within yourself. That means there's more to be explored. That means you run the course dry. You run the course dry of that particular segment of your seam of attention journey. I don't see a flat line as a bad thing. I see it as a good thing. It means that you have to dig deeper, because there's no possible way for you to be out of energy if you're really on seam of attention in earnest. There's no possible way. It means that you've just run the course. You've run that particular segment of the course. Now it's time to level up to the next stage of the course. So you guys that are talking about flatline, you need to understand. You need to understand it's not a bad thing. It means you're on the right path. And now the universe is granting you a new challenge. And some of these challenges are painful. Some of these challenges are painful, but they can be done. They can be done away with. I'm going to make this. I don't care. I hate waiting. I don't have to. So, you guys out there, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your support. And I want you guys to stay locked in. I want you guys to stay locked in no matter what. No matter what. If you can't do anything else, take it one incremental step at a time. If you can't do nothing else, I suggest you retain your seed. And you quit smoking cigarettes. And you quit drinking. And any other thing that's harmful to your body, just stop doing it. Anything that alters your mind in a way to in which it's going to put you back in a state of relapse. Because that's what these substances do. They put you in a state to in which you feel like you want to relapse again because it pulls your triggers. It pulls your triggers. And you don't want that. You don't want that, guys. You want to stay locked in. You want to stay away from any and all females. You don't want to think about them. Whatever you got to do to not think about them. Whatever you have to do to not edge. To not mentally edge, because that's where it starts. It starts mentally with edging. And then after you're done with the mental edging, you feel like you want to touch yourself. And you're, oh, I'll be okay. It's just natural. It's not natural. It's not natural. It's for procreation. And if you're not procreating, if you don't want to procreate, I don't want to procreate. I'm not pushing procreation. I believe we're at the end of our humanity. Not the end of the world, understand, not the end of the world. I believe we're at the end of our humanity. So that's why I don't want to bring any kids into this world. But I'm not pushing procreation. But you can do whatever you want to do. I just don't believe it's going to work out for you. And that's just how I really feel about it. I'm not wishing anything negative against you guys that want to procreate, but I don't feel like it's going to work out for you guys the way the world is headed and for what I know is coming to our realm within this Antarctica Treaty. So, do something, guys. Do something positive. Keep building your strength up. And understand that only you have the power to change your entire life. No one else does, only you. And it starts with your mind. It starts with you not being a bitch. You control your mind, you control your destiny. You control your destiny in a positive way that's related only to semen retention, sobriety, and earnest. And you will be guided every single day. You will be guided accordingly in the right path every single day. I'm Alpha T Fitness, and I'm signing off, guys.